What's up, YouTube? It's TF Collector, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studios series More Than Meets the Eye collection 86 Leader Class Optimus Prime from the Transformers the movie. And before we take a look at the figure itself, we will take a look at the packaging that he does come in right up front. You can see these beautiful colors used for the More Than Meets the Eye collection. Optimus in robot and alt mode. He is, of course, battle damaged. One shall stand. Transformers Studios series. There's the movie. There is his name. Hasbro there. Transforms in 40 steps on this side. A nice profile image of a battle-damaged Optimus. One shall stand. And there it is in another language if you want to read that. Studio series. Transformers the movie. On the other side, you have the rest of that picture. Some more cool colors. This is, of course, part of the Apology Tour. 40th anniversary of the Transformers the movie. Studio series. Leader class. On the back of the packaging, a screen grab of Optimus and Megatron throwing hands. There's the movie. There's his name. Optimus Prime battles his nemesis, Megatron. There's some more product images. 40 steps once again. Authentic Hasbro on the bottom of our code. On the top, the Transformers Le Film and Optimus Prime Takara Tomy. And one final thing before we dive into the figure, Optimus does, of course, include his instruction manual here, and you can see 8 and up. There he is, all damaged. Studio series, Transformers the movie, More Than Meets the Eye, Optimus Prime, Autobot logo there, and on the back, Takara and Hasbro. And moving to the figure itself, here is Optimus as he appeared briefly in the 86 movie while he fought Megatron to the death, literally. But coming in close here on the details, you can see you have the silver here for the grille and the headlights with some other lights painted in yellow and some more in detail there. You can see new color windows in comparison to the Commander class version with some battle damage and whatnot. Do wish we could have got some of that battle damage here on the sides as well, but you do have the Autobot logo there. Some nice silver here for the gas tank. You do have some nice silver rims here on all of the wheels, and they are all pinned on, so they do roll nicely. Smokestacks done here in silver as well. Look very nice. Coming around back here, some red tail lights along with the gray tail lights, but as you can see, other side, same wheels, a little bit of damage here on this side though, which is nice. But there is the top of the figure. There is the bottom. He can roll due to those pinned on wheels. He rolls very nicely. And overall, I think this alt mode looks pretty awesome. And as far as accessories go, Optimus comes with 3, but we're only going to take a look at 2 for now here in the alt mode. The first of which is his ion blaster we have here. And as you can see, just done in this darker gray plastic with a little bit of silver. If we bring in the version from the Commander class, you can see slightly sparklier silver used there on the Commander class version. I don't really have a preference. They are both the same gun to me, just slightly different colors, but you do get that blaster, and you also get this piece that Megatron throws at him in the movie and nearly kills him, and eventually, of course, it will lead to him dying, among many other things. But we can store both of these. First off, this piece is just plugged into the grill here in the front, so you can see he can just drive around and he can jab people if he really wants to. And as far as the gun goes, you're just going to take the magazine there and it will plug in right there. So just plug that right in like so, and that is how your weapons store here in alt mode. And now to rapid fire through some alt mode comparisons. First, here is Optimus with 86 Bumblebee, with 86 Megatron, who is also getting a new battle damaged version that should be in here within the next few weeks, so look forward to that review. And finally, with the OG, my favorite Studio Series figure, the Commander Class 86 Optimus Prime. And of course, it is the same figure with minor changes such as the details of the battle damage and the new blue windows. And there are some QC fixes that I'll discuss later on in the video. But this has an amazing figure, and this figure actually does slightly improve it, and you can get this for a cheaper price. So pick your poison. This one, you get the trailer, of course, and you get the full package. So I still think I slightly lean towards this one, and because you get the original look. But this one is also a really good figure. So there's really no poison to pick here. They're both really awesome figures. But you choose. Which one do you like better? And for our non-figure comparison, here is Optimus with how he appeared in both G1 and the 86 movie, so you can see just how well they did with this alt mode. And yes, the new Optimus can also haul the trailer. You still have the little port there, and you have your post right there, just like with the original, because it is pretty much the same exact figure. But he can totally still haul his trailer. And I think that's about all I have to say for Optimus's alt mode here. It looks really good. It looks just like the original, minus a couple changes, and I do think the new windows look a lot better, actually. But I do wish the battle damage was a little more spread out throughout the cab, especially. But that's just minor complaints. I think it looks really good. But we're going to go ahead and transform him into the mode we all came for, his robot mode. So let's get down to it. First, we're going to come back here and take these wheels, and we're just going to flip those inwards on both sides like so. Then what we can do is come here, untab this piece. You can see that blue tab. We'll just go right up in there, bring these pieces around, rotate that piece 180, and oh, I missed. You have to make sure this piece right here goes in that little groove right there. So you want to make sure that goes in right there like so. Same thing on the other side here. Untab, swing it 180. Make sure that goes in that little groove there like so, and that's how you want that looking. And just to complete the leg for now, we're just going to untab these pieces. You can see these tabs go right in there, and there's a slot there for those tabs there. Just bring these back and tab them in, and we will go ahead and work on the legs as much as we can. So we can go ahead and just bring this piece down and out of the way. You want to untab it from between the wheels and get it out of the way. Then you can swing the legs down for now. You can kind of get your finger up under here and grab onto this booty plate, and you can kind of pull it upwards. But it doesn't always want to come around. Sometimes you got to split the legs in order to get it out like so. And you can see there are two little slots for the two tabs, and that will tab right up in there. Just bring those legs closer together for now. And we're going to go ahead and move up and work on the upper body for now. So the first thing we're going to do is just come here and untab these pieces. They will come down like so. You can fold these pieces over top if you want, like so. Do the same thing here. Untab, bring it over top like so. Then what we're going to do is come here to the arms and swing these pieces out as we untab this. So untab that and swing those pieces out, and then you can just start to bring the arm forward, and you'll hear it thoop into place like so. Do the same thing here on the other side. Just untab this, bring it up, kind of bring that forward for now. Thoop it into place like so, and that's how you want that looking for now. Now what we can do is we can come around back here, and what we can do is bring these pieces out to the side on each side, like so and like so. Take this piece, flip it around, and tab that in, and there's his head just hanging out there. You can take this piece here, tab, slot, just tab that piece in right there for now. And then what we can do is come under here, and we can try to get our nails in here. You might have to take this piece here and kind of bring it downward like so to kind of help out. And you want to get those two pieces and bring them up out of the way. And now what you're going to do is rotate this whole upper section with the two windshields around like so. And then you want to bring this section up like so. So it's sitting about flush. You want to bring this piece up, flip this piece under like so, and flip that back down. And then you want to rotate at his waist 180 degrees like so. So this is how you want your prime oriented now, at which point you can push these two pieces back down, and those will just fill in the sides like so. Then to finish off, we can come right here, and we want to grab his head and basically push it back under. So you want to grab his head. You do want to make sure it's going under. You want it to go this way. You do not want it to go backwards, because that will break his head off. But sometimes I do have some trouble getting it to work, so it can be a little frustrating. Sometimes you need to untab this and kind of get a little leverage. As you can see, that kind of helped out there. So got a little leverage there, which will help rotate that head around like so, and that's how you want that looking, at which point we can now finish up the backpack. So you want to start to bring it up and bring this piece down, and this tab here will go into the slot there in the back of his neck like so. Then to finish up, just bring these pieces up on their double hinges on either side like so and like so. Bring that piece up out of the way. Close these two pieces down, and then there are two hinges on this piece. You want to use the upper hinge to bring this down, and this piece will just clip over top of this backpack to hold it all into place like so. And some finishing touches for the backpack. Just take these pieces and push them inward on either side. And there you have most of the upper body all done. You want to straighten out his little antennas here on his head. As you can see, they're bent on purpose as part of battle damage, of course. But bring the arm down, bring this part of the arm down. Then you can just rotate the arm a full 360 like so. Then straighten that smokestack back out. So bring the arm down. If it's not already, get the smokestack out of the way so you can rotate 180. Wow. Bring the arm down and bring the smokestack back up. 160. But anyways, we're going to come here and open these pieces on either side, which will allow us to flip his hands out like so. And those can just close up over top of that. Same thing here on the other side. See if you can't get your nail down in there. Maybe. Come on. There we go. And bring this piece out like so. Close that up over top of it. And there you have his arms all done. And coming back down, we just need to finish off his legs. So to do that, what we need to do is bring his heel up. That's not his heel, that's his toes. But we're going to bring those up and we're going to bring his heel back. So bring his toes up. Heels back, and then you want to take this slot and push it under like so. You want to take this tab and push it under like so, and then you want to come under here, untab these pieces from the inside of the leg, swing them around and tab them into place. Same thing on this side. Untab from the inside of the leg, swing around, tab into place. And once you get everything situated, which can take a moment, get him standing up straight, there you have your battle damaged more than meets the eye Optimus Prime in a very nice looking robot mode. And yes, they can keep feeding me this mold and I will probably buy it almost every time. If they make a dying gray Optimus Prime, I will be buying it simply because this mold is the definitive Optimus Prime from G1 for me. This is such a good mold, and this figure is no exception. Absolutely awesome looking, but coming in close on the details, you can see that new head sculpt they've given him just looks so good with the blue eyes and the battle damaged face mask there with the battle damaged horn as well on each side. Just looks really good. You have the orange there for some lights with some more battle damage all through here. And they did damage this whole section here, which looks really good with lots of mechanical details. And you do, of course, have a new port that is revealed there for your little piece to go in later. Down the arm, just an Autobot logo. Do wish they could have added in maybe some battle damage here on the arms. They did give a little bit here on this side up on the shoulder, but still could have used a little bit more. Some yellow here. The white paint just really pops and looks really good. I love the colors on this figure. Down the leg, once again, do wish the leg could have had some of the battle damage as well, but overall, just a really, really good looking figure with his little booty plate back there. He does have a bit of a backpack, but I'm never going to complain about this because I think it looks really compact. And if you want to really complain, I will argue that it looks like the jetpack he wears in episodes of G1, so stop whining. But overall, I think this figure looks really good. I love this mold, and this figure is certainly no exception. And when it comes to articulation, I think the head is on a ball joint because it can go side to side slightly. It can rotate a full 360. It can look up just that far, look down just barely. The arms themselves can do full 360s, can move in and out. You do have bicep rotation. You do have elbow bend up to 90. You have wrist rotation, which is very nice. And you even have individually articulated fingers. These three fingers are on one piece. You have a hinge at the base and a hinge right there. This one is on its own piece, hinge at the base, hinge right there. And the thumb, no, does not move, but overall still some really good articulation. Due to transformation, you have this little joint if you want to use it. I mean, it's not really a butterfly. It's like a backwards butterfly, but you can use that if you wish. You do have waist rotation, which is very nice. For some reason, mine kind of hits this piece, though. I don't know if it's due to the battle damage or what that is, but it does kind of hit that piece, which makes me a little nervous about using it. But these butt flaps here and the waist flaps can all move out of the way, and the legs can kick forward that far. Backward, you can go way far. Outwards, you can get a full split. You do get thigh rotation. You do get knee bend way past 90, which is a very, very nice. You do get deep ankle pivot, which is awesome. And due to transformation, you can move the toes downward if you want. And you can also move the heel down due to transformation if you really want. But overall, some really good articulation on this figure. Nothing to complain about here. You get everything you would expect from a modern day leader class. And when it comes to Optimus's accessories, we can bring them both in. Now, the gun can be stored. We just turn around here back, and you see there's a little tab right there. And then we'll go into this slot here in the gun. You can want to use the other side, though, so the magazine is facing away from the body. And that can just plug on right there. So there's storage if you want to use that. Me personally, though, I like to have my Optimus wielding his weapon, but you do have to get his little index finger out of his hand there. So you can plug this right in like so, and then you can wrap that index finger back around just to give him a little bit better grip there on that blaster. And when it comes to this piece, same thing, just plug it right into his midsection there. And if you want, you can kind of like have his hand kind of open his hand a little splayed out, and you can kind of have him like holding it like, ow! And there you go. There are your accessories with Optimus. But of course, I did mention earlier that we do get a third accessory. And to get to that, we need to open up his chest panels here. So just get under here and open these pieces up. Come under here and open this piece up. And there it is in all its glory. Let's get it out of there. Let's close it. Oh, well, one thing I do want to talk about. Some nice molded details back in there. Look pretty cool. But close all that up like so. And yes, you get the almighty matrix of leadership. And it looks beautiful in the silver with the blue gem there in the middle and the bronzy copper color around the sides. Just looks really good. Now, the way they have him holding this in the instructions is very weird. They have you like bend his elbow and bend his hand kind of this way, and they want only his index finger. So you kind of bend the bicep, kind of rotate the hand here, kind of like this, bring his little index finger up, but you want his other fingers not up, which isn't wanting to work on mine for some reason. You kind of want it like this, and you kind of want him like, you want him rubbing his fingers together for some reason. But apparently, if you just push his little index fingers through there, which I don't ever have any luck getting him to hold it, but apparently, if you push his little index fingers through, he's supposed to hold the matrix in his hand. But I don't. Hey, there we go. He holds the matrix with his index finger. And now to rapid fire through some robot mode comparisons. First, here is Optimus with 86 Deluxe Bumblebee, with 86 Leader Megatron, who once again will have a new battle damaged version very soon, with 86 Voyager Hot Rod, with 86 Commander Ultra Magnus, with 86 Devastator, and finally, with the original 86 Commander Optimus Prime, who, as you can see, has more vibrant colors, obviously, because this guy's getting all beat up and whatnot. He's got to have darker colors, right? But as you can see, they are, of course, the same exact figure, just with some paint differences, giving you a spin around 360, so you can see what all they changed, what all is kept the same. Minor QC changes. These old smokestacks, not smokestacks, these old smokestacks were really loose on mine. They did tighten those up on the new version, which I do really appreciate. And a widespread QC issue is on the original. These pieces were upside down, and everyone had to pop the pin out and put those on the right way, me included. But on the new version, they do come installed the correct way. So some minor QC fixes that they did for this new guy, which they didn't have to do, but I do appreciate that they went the extra mile and fixed those little baby problems with the original. But I love both versions of this figure. Neither one of them are going anywhere from my collection. They will both be on the shelf for me personally. But let me know once again, which one do you think is better? The old, more accurate to the whole cartoon Optimus, or this one snap scene battle damaged Optimus? And for our non-figure comparison, here is this figure with how he appeared in the 86 movie, so you can see just how good of a job they did with this guy. So this has been my review for the Transformers Studio Series More Than Meets the Eye 86 liter class Optimus Prime, and overall this figure is the complete package. You get a great looking robot mode with some pretty cool battle damage. One nitpick I do have with the figure is I do wish they would have spread the battle damage out a little bit more, got some more on the arms and legs just to give him that overall aesthetic, but what we did get does look pretty good, especially in the area where he actually gets pierced with that piece Megatron throws at him. I think they did great detailing that area there. You also get a really good looking alt mode. Now granted, there isn't much changed with the alt mode. Once again, just that one little area where in the grill where you can see a little bit of battle damage and a spot to put the piece that Megatron throws at him there in alt mode. But overall, the alt mode is pretty much the same as the original Commander class, just with that minor change. And so, of course, you can see the new colored windows and windshields there, which is a very nice touch. I do like the new blue they use for the windows and windshields on this figure. The articulation is great, just as it was with the Commander. It's the exact same. It's awesome. He articulates very well. The transformation is fun, more fun than the original, I would argue, because on this version they actually did some QC fixes, one of which being this smokestack area here on each arm is now tighter, so they're not flopping around. I had that problem with my old Commander class version where it would flop around and get on my nerves a little while I transformed him, but the engineering is the same and it's just overall more enjoyable due to better QC. Speaking of QC, this guy does come with his heels on in the correct orientation, unlike most of the Commanders did back when they were coming out. Most people had to fix those, as I mentioned earlier in the video, but this guy, they fixed that, which was a very nice touch. Overall, this is just a really good figure that I would certainly recommend. I do think he is worth the $60 price point, just because I think you're getting $60 worth of engineering and plastic here. I think this is a very solid leader class figure. So if I had to rate this Optimus Prime on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give him a very solid 9.5 out of 10. Not quite the 10 out of 10 I gave the original Commander, just because the Commander was the full package. You got the trailer, you got every accessory you could imagine. This guy, you do get the new piece that Megatron throws at him, but you don't get the trailer. Of course, that has to do with the price point, and I think that's a fair trade in this situation, but I do slightly prefer the original Commander, so I'll give this guy a 9.5 out of 10. Overall, definitely recommend him. He is a Target exclusive, so if you can find him online or at Target, that would be a very good idea, because I'm sure he will go for crazy prices here on the aftermarket in a few years or even a few months. So get your hands on an Optimus Prime battle damage version, especially if you're an 86 fan and Transformer collector. So that's about all I have to say for Optimus. Stay tuned for more reviews. I also got the Target exclusive Hot Rod and Hound this week, and Megatron will be coming soon. So stay tuned for all of those reviews, and don't forget, never sacrifice the things you love for the approval of others. I will see you all soon with more reviews, and until then, roll out. Peace!